Hi guys, welcome back to Journeyteaches. Today we have Sakshi Agarwal with us, and I welcome you Sakshi on Journeyteaches. Today we are going to discuss about her journey, what has motivated her in life, and what she has gone through. It's really very difficult to be able to open up, and I'm sure it's personally very inspiring to me, and I'm sure it will help others as well. So let's hear from her. Okay, hi Sakshi, how are you doing?
Hi Kriti, I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing it well as well. So, what happened exactly when you were in your last semester of undergraduation? What happened that changed your life completely?
So, when I was in my last semester of undergraduation, that is sixth semester, so I developed this chronic condition called tinnitus, which is ringing in your ears. When we further diagnosed, I was diagnosed with partial hearing loss and some other couple of medical conditions. So yeah, that is that. From that phase onwards, my journey till now is totally different, and it teaches me in surprises me in numerous ways. In numerous ways, I can say, and it still teaches me a lot every day.
So, you were actually preparing for UPSC all these years. What made you leave that decision, and why did you choose to leave it?
So, I have to leave it because at that time I was not medically healthy, and yes, I had certain medical conditions which I do have right now as well. But yeah, that was something which was very unknown to me at that point of particular phase. Yes, so I choose to not pursue it any further and look for other options.
That's very very difficult decision to make after you are behind that particular thing that you want to crack, and finally when you are at the last point of it, you come to know that this has happened and you are not able to achieve that. That's really something which is very difficult to overcome. How did you overcome it? How did you not let this major thing affect, because you have your entire life in front of you? So how did you actually react to this situation?
I think when something unplanned or unforeseen happens in any of our lives, that is something you cannot know. You don't know how to go about it. You keep on reacting and reacting, and you are not responding because you consciously don't know what goes on. So I took my time out to understand what will work for me, how is it, and yeah, it was not, I can say it was its own journey, and it is still in many aspects. It has its own journey. So it is not something that you can yeah, this has happened, okay, now what? Yeah, that is there, but I think in some phases it takes more time to process and come up with some solid framework that yeah, this is this now, and this is how it's should I move forward, and taking baby steps, because you cannot plan it out or all over. And from my journey, what I've experienced, one of my biggest lessons is however how many plans do you make, it doesn't matter. Life has its own aspects in some areas as well. So so I do make plans right now as well, but I don't make too much long plans, because ultimately it's life. How doesn't matter how many plans do you make, how aptly you follow them as well, but yeah, so that is there.
Right, for sure, for sure. Life has its own surprises. Life has its own plan. And it's always upon us that how we tackle the situation, and we think about why me to what now. This is my favorite line, yes, which I gave in my TEDx talk as well. That why should we, replacing why me to what now is the key to move on in life for sure. So while you were going through all of this, there must be a lot of inputs coming from your family and friends, the people around you. So how did you actually differentiate that whom to listen to and whom to not, and how did you go about that? What was the process? How does the process look like?
Um, Now that I think about it, I believe that initially you all like all what all goes in your mind is like you don't know. Your brain is like full of all the things, all sorts of things, and yeah, with time you learn to process again, as I mentioned earlier. And yes, when you do so as well, you put some categories over whatever the things are, and yeah, so while providing them categories also, you develop knowledge about what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So with regard to the people, that whom to listen and whom to not, so that comes with your own clarity. Because if you don't know how the things are, you don't know, like yeah, the things are there, but your mind is not able to figure it out at some point of time. So I don't think that is the phase that you should listen to the people. And like yeah, you obviously you are gonna be in the midst of the people, but you don't give them a particularly conscious attention, that yeah, because you don't have the clarity about it yourself. So yeah, yes, so I believe yeah, that helps a lot, clarity. And yeah, when you don't have clarity, just I believe in some situations you just have to go with your gut feeling. Your gut says it, that yeah, this is the thing for me, this is not. So that's what I did.
So that's absolutely correct. Whatever decision you want to take currently in your life, that actually depends upon what you want to go ahead with. So my next question was, since you are still in the exploration stage, you are still figuring out and you are doing your double masters again, you are in your mid 20s. So sometimes there is a kind of pressure also that starts coming up, for being settled in life, being maybe able to find a suitable partner, get married, or maybe find a stable job. So how do you take that? Because still exploring around, when you are in mid 20s, still of course we should be a lifelong learner and we should start exploring, but there's some kind of certainty and stability which the society wants. So how do you take that, because log kya कहेंगे और लोग क्या कह रहे हैं, how do you take that thing?
My journey taught myself to not to listen to a people a lot, because when you suffer, or no, I should not use the word suffer here, when you develop a certain thing which is different from the typical society and typical people around you, so there might be two, I believe there are a range of reactions or responses to that. But yeah, something that people consider as loss or lesser than your previous self, so it's I think a nature of the society. I might be wrong, but yeah, it's somewhat the nature that there would be limitations placed on you. Okay, so you cannot do this thing, you cannot do that thing, like that. So with regard to increasing age and exploring things, I believe exploration is life. I don't think that you can just not explore after some point of age or some point in your life. I believe, yeah, you, even if you are in some career, yeah, in career aspect you say that I am exploring. Yeah, I am, still am, because to some extent I got to know, no, not I should not say to some extent, yeah, I have a pretty much more clearer about idea that what I want to do and what uh, how should I go about it. But yeah, you saying exploration, yeah, I like to explore and learn many things. Yeah, and explore, I think it's better to explore and learn about things. And I also think that there are unlimited branches, and you can come up with a branch of your own, right? It's not like that, okay, you are just an example to put as that, let's say, if I, an example, I didn't do an engineering, I didn't do engineering, but if I just, like, I did engineering and I'm doing a job or some other sort of profession, I just did any I just get a qualification in that and I get in that profession. And then after some point, or I guess like I said, the planned things didn't work out. So what do you do in that respect then? Yeah, it can happen at later stage as well, no? So also that, yeah, I just, then later in life I'm like, yeah, engineering, but it's not coming out. It's just, I'm just doing it for my whatever the life reasons might be, but it's not. Yeah, so I think you get the point. So exploration, I'm still exploring. Yeah, in terms of marriage, I believe there is, after some point of some age, like maybe, I guess, maybe your early 20s or maybe mid 20s for someone, or maybe late in 20s, whatever, maybe 30s 40s, I don't know, right? And I believe there is no such thing like a right age of for marriage, right? It depends person to person. Some person might feel that they want to get married in their mid 20s, later 20s, early 30s. It's totally up to them, whatever they feel like. So yeah, when you have that clear in your mind, I don't think the people, society, perception in matters a lot into as your on your life, I guess so.
Of course, definitely. It's a very personal choice. One can be a lifelong learner, one can, switch multiple things and just keep on exploring whatever you want to do and just listen to your heart. It's completely your choice whether you want to build a business, do a job, or maybe, go for higher studies, get married. It's totally dependent on what you want to do. So there's of course this thing which comes in, which is getting yourself victim tag. So people around you must be, looking at you with that eyes of sympathy that, we should bear with that girl. And so what's your perspective? Do you want them to look at you with sympathy, or do you want them to not see you with sympathy at all? What's your take? How do you want it? But what do you want to say to them?
I believe when like I don't have like yeah, I'm kind of used to it, right? So when, yeah, a person gets to know that, yeah, I have hearing impairment, so yeah, they might see me differently, like, okay, yeah, they sympathize obviously, but yeah, that is fine with me because I'm used to with that kind of responses or reaction. Like, sympathy in the long run is not a right approach, I guess so. Like, yeah, so because sympathy is something you just don't relate to much more. And mm, I don't know, like if you sympathize, like, okay, very much, like every time you see that person or you meet them, and it doesn't feel normal. It places you in a different category, like different from the other typical world out there. So that is one point. And yeah, those sympathetic eyes, god, I'm used to it right now, since it's been a longer duration, so I'm used to it. But yeah, yeah, that's something that has to be changed, I think so. So yeah.
Definitely, nobody would want, people's sympathy like that, of course. So, because of this, you must be facing a lot of issues, maybe in a noisy, crowded place, or maybe in a group setting when you're not able to get other people's point of views, or maybe on a day to day basis, many such small, or maybe small, may it seem to be small, but very, to a greater extent, those difficulties. So, how do you go about it must be affecting a lot of other areas of your life. So how do you take it that this thing should not impact my overall life and not affect the other areas of my life, because medical issues are like that. So what do you think to just keep on going and not give up?
I think that when in some point of life you just like in certain kind of situation, that I think there is this one, like it's gonna be okay. Like you gotta accept that it's not okay. So it's gonna be okay. We'll see about that, right? It's not okay. That is registered in your mind. Then, so yeah, you know that your mind says it's not okay. So how to make it okay? That is what you work towards now, because now you know what's worse than this. At that point of time and that situation, what's that worse that is there? So you have your all facts cleared in your head. Then your mind, it's just like, love, let's go do this, let's do that. Yeah, now okay, this doesn't work, that let's figure something out. There must be some other way of doing that particular thing. So yeah, day to day basis I try to do the same. Like this not works, I try that particular thing for some particular days. Okay, this is not working, and I'm like, okay, let's just skip this and start doing something else. And motivation that you ask me, that self motivation, it's like the concept of like just going through the journey and doing the things. And self pity is your worst enemy, I can say. And yeah, this is not something that happens like that. Yeah, this is now done. And you obviously feel low at some point of times, but you are like, okay, now, yeah, this is there, what next, what is next? And you like I can say one thing, that when you have a habit of failures, no, it's easy, it gets easier. You're like, okay, this is there, now that so that's what I would like to say about it. And I believe that at some point of time you will find the motivation or the whatever you need to go on within yourself, because I believe that after some extent, no one else can motivate you. It's just you have to find it in yourself. You have to get up, go, get out, do your work. That's it.
So that is something which really I've observed as well, that one should be self-motivated to pursue all the tasks, because it's not that someone or the other will always be there for you and motivate you, inspire you to go get up, do your task. So that is something which we have to achieve, and it should come from inside. Okay, so my next question is that, since I know you on a personal level, so, and I'm sorry for the language if I use that, because since you are hearing impaired and you are into music, you play instruments, you sing, and you enjoy that, you are really a very lively, very talkative, very excited person in general. So how do you maintain that enthusiasm? Why are you, how are you that you actually make other people's moments also enjoyable? And how do you not think about this all the time? Because if anybody would be in your place, they would of course be a little because it takes time, for sure. It must have taken for you as well. But how do you maintain that liveliness, that life is something which is very precious, I have to live it in spite of all those all of these unbearable things which life has thrown into my way, but that is something which I'll not let them get into my way. So how do you keep up that enthusiasm of living life to the fullest? Be a happy person, always have that big smile on your face. How do you do that? I really want to know.
First of all, thank you for telling more about me. I didn't know all that. And the contrast that you are asking me, that hearing impairment, and I'm not a music person, that I just do that as my hobby. And so I don't think the music has to do very much with the hearing. Like, it definitely has to do with the hearing. That thing which I'm saying, which is totally in contrast with it, but it is, I think it has more to do with the feeling and the vibrations. Like, there are people who sing and who play instruments with they are not able to hear the song and properly, or not completely at all in many cases. So they based on the vibrations that are coming through the song, they sing, and they have muscle memories. So based on that, they play certain instruments as well. So for me, I don't know, like, this thing it's a part of my life. Impairment is part of my life. It cannot just take away music from me. It's my hobby. It's been my hobby. It cannot just go away like that. I so and I think this is something very close. So in spite of all this, I think music helps. Many times it lets me explore many dimensions which I didn't know about earlier, and about life as well. So and regarding me being lively, it's just me. I think me being a chatty person that is there, but so you don't know, like there are something predictable factors. Our life is like going on a particular loop, I can say, and but you don't know. So if I don't know, why would I worry about it? As simple as that. So that is there. Yeah, that's I'll say about it.
I think I should not ask the next question because it was about the future, what the future holds, and how do you think that what's going to happen in the future. But you have answered it very nicely, that if you don't know, why should I worry about it, why should I think about it? That's the simple answer which everybody should understand. And just we say that they should adapt this into their heads, that they should really adapt this into their heads, that if they do not know about the future, they should not worry about it at all. Okay, so we'll conclude this very amazing podcast with this final question. What is the message that you want to give to the world? You have included a lot of messages, a lot of takeaways, for sure, genuinely. But what is something at the end that you would like to conclude this with, that what do you want to share with the world? What is something that you want people to remember when they hear about Sakshi Agarwal, when they hear about the journey of Sakshi, and when they hear about all those experiences, all which you have went through, how you have overcome, and what you are up to? You will definitely do great, but what should people know?
It's very hard to fit it in one line, but I think this is the nature of life, that you keep on growing and learning about yourself as well as the world. So in some aspects, I can say that once you get to know the core about yourself, just stick to it, and be consistent about your learning, about your different I can say when you learn about things, when you taking whatever is adding on to you, be consistent about that. And because it's always a journey, and journey also includes the not about going on the top, and yes, coming back as well. I think so, because I don't know how to put it better. I just can say one line, that be consistent, because no flower blooms always. Yeah, that's it.
That was really deep and impactful, for sure. That was. And the best way to conclude this, I am genuinely very thankful, very grateful to you, because it's genuinely very, very, very difficult to be vocal about your life experiences, your personal life, your struggles, what you have went through, and what you have gone through, what is something that keeps you going. You have shared everything. So thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for spreading your experiences, and what kind of inspiration that people can derive from your journey, because it's really very inspirational, and I'm really sure that you will do great in life in spite of all these challenges which life has thrown onto you. And thank you so much, genuinely, and thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for inviting me on this podcast, and it also gave me lots of insights about all the conversation, and I just cannot thank you enough for and it was amazing to learn from you in the conversation as well. So thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Pleasure is all mine. It's always very, impactful, and I would say it's very, it's very it gives you a lot of empowerment when you share about your life experiences, being vocal about it, and being not being afraid to share it out loud with the world. And you just did that. So thank you so much. Thank you guys for listening to us, and it's been a very insightful session with Sakshi. We'll hopefully invite her again in the future. Thank you so much. If you have any questions for her, or maybe me as well, you can drop down in the comment section and we'll be happy to answer. We'll see you again very soon. Thank you so much.